Jemma Bayley reviews everything ever.
Hello and welcome to Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. It's me, Jemma Bayley. I'm here, reviewing everything ever. And I'm glad that you're here to listen to me review everything ever. It's going to be a long and arduous task that we both have set on, and I'm glad to have you as a companion. Was that too earnest? I am earnestly happy that you're here, because if you don't witness me doing this, then what it's just for me, and then I'm just a weirdo in a room talking to myself, and you observing me is what makes this less weird. I actually no, it was always going to be weird, and I don't apologize. I want to review the abominable. I want to review the abominable snowman. Is it abominable? I know that you're all probably yelling at me, but I don't care. Let's hear it.
Abominable.
Abominable. No, I'm saying that.
Abominable.
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 Abominable. You know what? This is one of the few times where, when you say a word over and over again, it stops sounding like a word. It actually never sounded like a word to begin with. So now it's starting to sound more like a word.
Abominable.
Abominable. That sounds like a word now. This is like the first time I have said a word multiple times and I've been like, now it sounds like a word. That never happens. I think abominable is the only word that happens to. Every other word. Taxes. 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 Now it doesn't sound like a word. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, the abominable snowman. That's who I want to review. What's he up to? What are his interests? Does he like long walks on the beach? Does he not mind getting caught in the rain and drinking pina coladas? The abominable snowman. Or Yeti. Oh, is it the same guy? Is that the same guy? Actually, the abominable snowman, Yeti, feels like the cold version. Like, you know how sometimes Pokemon have like a winter version and a summer version? It feels like the winter version of Bigfoot, yeah? Yeah, we all agree, yeah. A legendary ape-like creature said to inhabit the Himalayan mountain range. Ooh, he's bipedal. That's hot. Which means he walks on two legs. Actually, as far as mythical creatures being hot and wanting to fuck them, I think Mothman is right up there. We're doing the abominable snowman. Well, I've lost it. I've lost abominable. Okay, it's back. Good. Typically described as large, hairy, bipedal ape, long arms, massive build, cultural significance in Sherpa and Tibetan folklore, the Yeti is a respected, sometimes spiritual figure, rather than just a monster. Some tales portray them as guardians of the mountains. Actually, this would be less scary to find where you're on a mountain. If there's a giant ape-like creature, you're like, oh, he's here to help. You look around, oh, no, it's okay, it's a Yeti, he's here to help. He's just nodding from afar. That's the vibe that I have of a Yeti if you see him because you're obviously not going to go up and talk to him. That would be rude. It's his house. You're walking through it. But you have to be respectful, so you see him from a distance and you just go, and then he goes like that. You're cool, man. You're cool, fam. You know that, monsters become really popular when they start naming, bottles after it. So there's the Yeti bottle as well, which is, funny because it's meant to keep your drink cold. So it's quite fitting. That'd be like naming a fan Mothman. I would buy a Mothman fan because I'd be like, yes, that would be a good fan. I imagine that it would last a really long time and it would be very breezy, but I wouldn't want it. I imagine that, when you turn an appliance on and it's got a red light, I imagine it has two red lights and you turn the Mothman off. It's getting weird in here. I like the idea that you're sitting there and you've got about to go to sleep. You've brought someone over to have sex with, and now you're both going to sleep. And then they turn to you, hey, can you turn the Mothman off? It's freaking me out. No, but it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, I can't sleep with the Mothman on. And I'm like, oh well, I can't sleep with the Mothman off, so you're gonna have to leave. I don't know why, but the abominable snowman I like better than Bigfoot. Bigfoot feels a little bit more bogan, and then the abominable snowman feels a little bit like he seems more mystical. He seems cooler. Pardon the pun. He seems, whereas Bigfoot just feels like that's just a bunch of people pretending to be Bigfoot. I'm so sick of people pretending to be Bigfoot. Be Bigfoot or don't. Just don't pretend. At the deep part of me, I just hate liars. This deep down part of me just hates lying. To the point where, like, even people dressing up, I'm like, stop it. Halloween makes me mad. Halloween gets my jammies ruffled. My jammies are just, they're not where they're meant to be around Halloween. Okay, so the abominable snowman, I like him. It's hard to say. I did not realize he was also the Yeti. That's an interesting fact. Let's give him a 4. I like him. He's not the mythical creature that I think of, like that's vocal. I don't think of him. But when I think of him, I'm like, yeah. So, 4. I would like to review the phrase beating a dead horse. Now, of course, whenever we're reviewing phrases, we do have to find the origin. But before we do that, I like to have a good old crack. And this one seems super obvious. Beating a dead horse to me seems like a racing terminology. If you're riding a horse and you're kind of beating it to go faster, if you're beating it and it's dead, there's no point because it's like dead. So don't beat a dead horse, meaning like it's already done, like stop fighting. Beating a dead horse or flogging a dead horse are originated in the mid-19th century to describe useless or futile effort, especially wasting energy or settling a matter. The phrase likely stems from the cruel yet pointless action of whipping a horse that has already died and cannot be made to move. Okay, so that is that. Yeah, so it is obvious. Okay, cool. So as far as a phrase goes, well, it feels like what it is, which we don't usually get with these phrases. Also, like, the way you say it. Like, you're never saying, oh, stop beating a dead horse. Like, someone's complimenting you too much. Oh, stop beating a dead... No one's saying it like that. It's always like you're mid-conversation and you've just settled it and you're wrong and you get it. You're wrong. You're wrong. You get it. And then they say an extra thing that maybe they've already said. And then you say, all right, stop beating a dead horse. I get it. That was a full scene right there. Did you see how, like, I've lived this many times being wrong and be like, okay, that's not how it's spelt. Get it? Stop beating a dead horse. And then they're like, spell that. And I'm like, no, because horse confuses me sometimes because there's one way that's whores and there's another way that's horse. And I can only just hear the whore. And I know that the other one is the H. Oh, they both have H. You know what? We could always make a reverse of this phrase that is, hey, beat that horse into life. Like as encouragement. Like someone's doing their football game and you're off the side. You go, yeah, beat that horse into life. Or you're at a meeting and people are like going, oh yeah, I have this great like idea. The clientele will love it. And you go, yeah, you beat that horse into life. Yeah, keep going. Sounds so awful. Whip. But it does sound, actually saying beat that horse into life sounds like you're trying to kill the horse. Like it's just gotten back up. Beat that horse into life. If any vegans listen to this podcast, just know that I don't care. I was gonna say, oh, if any vegans listen to this podcast, just know there were no horses injured in the making of this podcast. I actually don't know that. People could be listening to this podcast in their car and accidentally hit a horse. And I would have to take responsibility for that. That is my fault. For being too distracting in the car. Imagine if you got done for all the times that people were distracted by your podcast. I'd be in jail at least once. Because there's only one person listens to this podcast. You. No one else does, by the way. It's only you. You're the only person experiencing this. Did you know that? How weird is that to think? It's just you and me, back and forth. Well, not back and forth, back. We're not back because it's only going one way. Back. I think I'm fast becoming like the creepiest podcast on the internet. And you know what? I'll take it. I got to be the something of something, you know? Okay, I think we're done with this review. Let's stop beating a dead horse. Does that make sense? Yes. So we're giving that phrase, not the one we just made up, because that is weird and not a thing. Let's give it I think a lot of people use it as well. Let's give it a 4 because it's solid and it's fun to say, and like the visuals of it makes sense. A 4. Yeah, okay. We're going to review protein. Then this is very important because a lot of us want it, apparently. It's in everything. I think about how often I see it on like yogurts and dairy products, and like it's on chips. Like, have you seen this? You have seen this. I think it's because of like diet culture or whatever it is. Extra protein. You know, like how for age, I feel like in my youth, calcium was in everything. It was like calcium and Milo, and it's like there is actually not that much calcium in Milo, but once you add the milk to it, there's heaps. Also, like iron. I just remembered a cereal that I don't think exists anymore. Does Nutri-Grain still exist? Oh yeah, it still exists. Oh, there's a bar. Oh, I get so excited when cereal becomes bars because that was not a thing. Back in the day, you had cereal and you had LCMs. And that was it. It's very exciting when one thing branches into another and you're like, ooh, a variation of a classic. Like, or Ovaltine was always the powder, and then you got Ovaltinis, which was like the little lolly snacks. And I love those, but they're the weirdest thing. They're just packed down pills of chocolate powder, I'm pretty sure. It's still the powder. They've just like stuck it down into like this little pill form. I think I only like it because it's nostalgic. If you ate it now, you'd probably be like, this is a disgusting form of whatever the hell this is. Okay, let's find out what has the most protein. Parmesan cheese. Why is Parmesan cheese so high? Dried meats. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting like beef and chicken and any meat and then eggs and then, but this is what it says, that it's Parmesan cheese, dried meats such as jerkies, chicken, turkey breast, fish, tuna and salmon, lean beef, there you go, beef is there, soybeans and edamame. Key takeaways, tuna has the highest percentage of total energy from protein, 90%. Dairy, Parmesan is so high. Why is Parmesan so high? It's like, Parmesan's like if cheese decided to be a brick. It's so dry. It's like, it's the concrete of cheese. Think that the gooey ones would. You'd be like, protein in my mind is like a white slab of like goo. Like it's like a big jelly thing, which is just weird because calcium to me is white powder. This is getting weird. Okay. Iron is iron. Iron is actual iron. And when I found out iron was iron, I was like, whoa. I'm pretty sure there's an episode of me finding out iron is iron, and I'm just having I think the whole episode is me saying, iron is iron? You mean iron is iron? And I just keep saying that over and over again. Vitamin C is a tablet. And I know that that's how you have it. Oh, omega-3 is an oil. I'm just describing what they are. Collagen is like a pink fairy floss. It's like a flowery like thing. It's like asbestos. It's not like asbestos. It's like insulation. It's like that's what it feels like in my brain. Carbohydrates are sticks. they're like beige sticks. Oh, magnesium is purple. I think it's like a purple liquid. Potassium is yellow, of course. But potassium is a powder. Oh, fiber. Fiber is brown and it's like pointy. It's like, you know how you keep that mat at the front of your house is kind of spiky and brown? That's what it reminds me. That's what fiber is to me. Oh, water is one. Well, what is water? Blue. What is also not blue? We all know this from science in school. It's a reflection of the sky. Is it a reflection of the sky? We don't know. It's actually never been documented, and it's a scientific marvel. No one knows why water is blue. Just spreading misinformation. Back to protein. Protein seems really important these days. Why do we want it so much? It keeps you full, and I think if you have it with certain other vitamins, it helps like actually have them. Is that right? All this time talking about protein, don't even what a protein do. Hey, tell me, baby, what that protein do. Protein is a vital macronutrient that acts as the body's building block, essential for growth, repair, maintenance, tissues like muscles, bones, skin, and hair. It forms enzymes for metabolism, hormones for regulation, and antibodies to fight infection while also aiding in fluid balance. It seems like actually you can't not have it, and I feel kind of rude for pointing it out so much before that everyone's like, oh, we need it and everything. All right, it seems important, okay? All I'm saying is having it labeled on everything all the time seems kind of silly. I think maybe, well, now that we know that we could just be eating edamame beans about it, I don't know if it's in as much stuff as it's pretending to be. This is definitely a marketing thing. You know, like it's those buzzwords they put on the packaging to lure you in, but it actually isn't like technically true. Or hey, just go out and get some Parmesan cheese, right? I also love the idea that you're like out to dinner and they're like, oh, come around with the cheese and there is a Parmesan, yes. And then you're like, oh, actually, yeah, put heaps on. I'm trying to be healthy. Oh, yes, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be healthy. Putting cheese on. It seems like the opposite. It doesn't seem correct. Full seriousness, I am going to go because I saw in the shops that they had frozen edamame beans and I was like, I didn't know they did that. And you can order edamame beans like this and they're $5. And I'm like, there's no way that's $5 worth of edamame. We're getting screwed. I'm calling it now. We're getting screwed. I reckon the things that say there's protein in this and big letters don't actually have that much protein in it. I reckon edamame beans are overpriced. That's my hot take today. Protein and edamame beans. And edamame beans have heaps of protein. Maybe that's why they're so expensive. And we need protein. Anyway. How much is a bag of frozen edamame beans? How much is a bag of... Sorry, what? A bag of frozen edamame typically costs between $2 and $5? A bag. How big is the bag? Which is 400 to 500 grams. I feel like a sucker. And that can't be more than 100. Oh, we're getting fucked, guys. Oh, that is... Oh. Well, I'm upset. It's okay, guys. And these don't even have the things that you can't. What is it? The pod. This doesn't even have the pod around them. They're just straight edamame beans. Did I discover a hack? We have a hack here, guys. Okay. All right. No, we're moving on from this. We have to move on from this because there's other things to review. Okay, so protein, very important. The PR on it is amazing. Like whoever's representing like protein, they're doing a good job, right? Because everything seems to want to have it. Good. Get it? Check where you're getting it. 5 stars for protein. Get protein, guys. Get some protein. We're reviewing triangles. In my mind, triangles are yellow. That makes circles blue and squares red. And rectangles are green. And hexagons are orange. And stars are yellow. Oh, I don't know. We've completely messed up the system. We can't just keep naming shapes and then deciding what colors they are. Flowers are pink. Hearts are red. Globes are green. Ovals are teal. Trapezes are they purple? What shape is purple? A cloud or squiggly is a purple. Is any of this hitting? Is anyone resonating with this? Actually, if you get this far, if you're still in the pod, can you comment the shapes and what colors you associate to them? Because I'm interested. I'm wondering if it's just all stuff that we've experienced in our childhood and that's what's imprinted on our brain, or is it more of like a feeling-based exercise? What is my favorite triangle? Can't get past an acute. I love an acute triangle. Obtuse. Is it obtuse? Well, the big one. They make me uncomfortable. Right angles also make me uncomfortable, but for a different reason, because it's just too much tension. It's like too much structure. Cute triangles, I feel like, couldn't hurt a fly. I'm like, oh, stop it. That's a fun triangle. Most famous triangle, of course, being the Bermuda. Did we find anything out about it? You know how every now and then the news will be like, hey, you know that mystery that's plagued society? Here it is. And everyone's like, oh, it is. You know, oh, I feel like the Bermuda Triangle thing was like the boats and the planes, they all disappear. And everyone's like, it's like a black hole, or it's like a mystical monster taking down everything. Did we find out what it was? Is it just a drug cartel that like that no one's allowed to fly through that area? What? Okay, let's find enough speculation. Enough. Or is it just one of these things where we all gossip at the same time and we're all Mandela effecty about it? Like the confirmation bias of the Bermuda Triangle just makes us think that it happens there more. Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle, oh my God, is a loosely defined non-official region in the western northern Atlantic, roughly bounded by Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, notorious for urban legends regarding the often exaggerated disappearances of ships and crafts. Okay, so it is exaggerated. For incidents include... scientific explanations for incidents include dangerous, fast-forming weather systems, unpredictable rogue waves that can reach up to 98 feet, and methane hydrates through the... Though the latter is common. Well, it's not... it must be uncommon. I don't even know how to say it. Debunked myths. Extensive research, including a 2013 study by the World Wildlife Fund, have shown that the area is not one of the world's 10 most dangerous shipping lanes, and losses and losses are not statistically. It's just not as high as it's. So you know how I said we were all saying a thing and then we all perpetuate it. That's pretty much like, it's like, oh yeah, it's actually not that much. Okay, experts and organizations, they do not recognize any special, mysterious, or supernatural properties in the area. That also sounds like they're trying to divert our attention from something suspicious. Like, yeah, all these organizations that you can trust say there's nothing there, so stop looking. And we're all like, oh, guess we won't bother about it. La, la, la. Meanwhile, there's like a guy in the middle of the massive guy, like a titan in the middle of the ocean being like, oh, I'm so excited I can kill more boats now that no one knows I'm here. Maybe I was thinking of Cthulhu or like some sort of sea creature that lived there, but nothing of this has been mentioned. Okay, one of the key one is magnetic abnormalities. So they think it's like a natural like phenomenon, not a mysterious force. They're just not giving... well, they just think that it's like something to do with magnets, maybe. This is why we can't have nice conspiracy theories anymore, because people are like, I don't know, magnets. I'm done. Fine, I'm done. Stupid. We could have done so many fun things with that, but they've just decided that it's magnets, and that just bothers me. Oh, a good triangle. Love triangle. Oh my God, I love a good love triangle. I love a good love triangle. It's one of my favorite things in rom-coms is when she has to pick between two people. You know, I think I know why it's also two, because like 3 that's too many people to track. Mentally, I'm like a third person. Oh, that's too many people to think about. But you know, 2 people who are interested in me and want to fight over me, stop it. I've had that before. I had that when I was a kid, like in primary school. I had 2 boys fighting over who would spend little lunch with me. I remember thinking, this is like really weird. We can all just hang out together. But mentally, I think I didn't understand what the hanging out was. Like they had crushes on me, but it was too early for me to know what that was. Like in fact, none of us really probably knew what that was. It was just kind of us being like, I really like hanging out with this person. I want to be around them all the time. I maybe want them to kiss me, but not because it's gross, you know? And yeah, I remember them fighting, and I got called into an office and talking with a teacher, and I remember they were really rude to me about it. They made me feel really bad that I had incited it or something like that, or I wasn't clear or something, and I was sitting there just going, but I do want to hang out with both of them. Oh, and they're like, well, you can't be like, I'm gonna hang out with you, and then I'm also gonna hang out with you. You've lied to them, and I'm like, no, I like like I remember thinking, oh no, we're all gonna hang out together, and they were like, they didn't want to do that, and I think you know that. Like it was like a whole thing where I genuinely was like, I don't know what's going on. I do not see the problem. I was like, why can't I have 2 boyfriends? Like I was so progressive as a child. I was like, yeah, I can have 2 boyfriends. I can't have 3 though. That's too many people to keep track of. It's also happened in my adult life a few times. And then in recent years, I had 2 people being tense, close to, not a punch up, but, and you know what? It wasn't as fun as the movies make out. It was very stressful. So I actually, you know what? I don't recommend love triangle. Fun to watch, fun in movies, not so fun in real life. Kind of stressful, honestly. It's weird that triangles are so awkward because it's like they're trying to be a square, but they didn't quite make it. Square is swingers. If a love triangle is a love triangle, square is swinging. And circles are for asexuals. So triangles. I didn't expect to go that far with triangles. Fun shape, awkward shape, weird shape. I know they're very important for architecture, but they just feel a little bit wrong. So I'm giving triangles 2. We're going to, oh, we have an email. We have an email. Oh, hold on. Ha, ha, ha. From Danielle. You're weird. I like it. Thank you. I don't know what you are, but if you're listening to me, I like you. Please review Getting Caught in the Rain. Getting Caught in the Rain. And then she goes on to just say some really nice things. And thank you. And you specifically have said getting caught in the rain. So I'm going to address getting caught in the rain because caught implies that this was not planned and it was against your will. A tricky time. There's a little bit of shame in getting caught in the rain because I feel like we externally, when people look at us and we're caught in the rain without an umbrella and they've all got umbrellas, you're like, is there a silent judgment on me? I know that this is fake, but like I feel like when everyone else has umbrellas and you don't have an umbrella, they're all looking at you like, well, someone's not an adult. Like someone doesn't read the weather, check the weather. It's the same sort of feeling where me as an avid umbrella user in the sunshine, I have that feeling people looking at me going, why is she using an umbrella? It's the reverse of that. It's the, why didn't you bring your umbrella, you idiot? I know that no one's thinking that. You know how I know no one's thinking that? Because I have never really looked at someone who, I've never actually noticed. Because when you have an umbrella, you can do that amazing thing where you like pull it down so it's like here and you don't have to look at people's faces. That is a hack for anyone who is like a severe introvert. Also, it creates a human like sphere barrier around you. But yes, Danielle, getting caught in the rain. It's never fun unless it's in a movie. And the only reason it's fun in a movie is because it's usually a rom-com. Because getting caught in the rain and having a conversation in the rain implies that it's so earnest and so important that you both are ignoring the rain. And that's why it's romantic and a rom-com. Otherwise, getting caught in the rain is just it's so annoying. It's only shit if it started raining and you're not that wet. There is a point of no return where you get so soaked that you're like, well, and you literally just let go and it doesn't matter. There's a point where just before that where you're very upset. You're like, I'm about to get drenched and and I have a meeting to go to. But then there's a point where you're drenched and you're like, well, everyone will understand. If you turn up to a meeting and you're dripping, they'll just be like, oh, you're not an adult. Did you read the weather? No one's reading the weather. People are looking at the weather. No, you do read the weather because there's numbers and words. The only time you're not reading the weather is when you're looking at it and you're going, oh, that looks like it. There it is. I really hijacked your review, Danielle. Getting caught in the rain in our world as it is not a fun time. And I'm going to give it... because there is that moment where you're soaked and it's fun. And as a kid, I remember getting caught in the rain and it being a fun time. And I try to like go back and strip back all the shit that's happened in my life to make me think horribly about situations. Getting caught in the rain is actually not a bad thing, but it can lead to illness. So it's inconvenient most of the time. And sometimes it's fun. So it can't be a 1. So I'm going to give it a 2. Anyway, thank you for writing in. I would have never thought of any of that without you. So we've come to the end of another Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. At the very least, I hope you learned something. And if you didn't learn something, maybe you feel really good about yourself because you knew all the things that I didn't know. And if anything, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice to listen to a podcast, watch a podcast and be like, well, at least I'm not that dumb. And at the end of the day, that's all I wish for you. I want you to watch this and enjoy yourself. So, I win. You called me dumb, but I win. No one called me dumb. I've made this up. I will be back next week. See you there.